Hey guys, it's me, Wanda, the solo traveler, and here finally is the official review of my 7-day Alaskan cruise on the Sapphire Princess. Let me just first say the trip was amazing. And I know a lot of you are on your way to Alaska, or you have trips planned, or you're even thinking about doing a cruise to Alaska. Do it. So this was my second time actually doing a cruise to Alaska, but the first time I just didn't do it right because I didn't take the time to plan. It was one of those last minute cruises. This time I took the time to plan, and I implore you, if you are planning to do Alaska, do Alaska. Do like the real deal. Don't just do the cruise portion, do the land portion as well. One of the things that we did differently this time was do the land portion, and you can take the land tour with the cruise company, or you can do it on your own, or at least plan it on your own. You don't have to take the packages that the cruise lines offer, because there are other ways. But however you do it, do it. We actually spent some time in Alaska several days prior to our actual cruise, and we flew into Anchorage, but we took the train up to Denali, stayed for a few days. We did in helicopters. We just had a wonderful time. The countryside, beautiful. The train ride, absolutely awesome. And then we did the cruise part after. We stayed in Denali, and then we did the cruise part, came back to Anchorage, over to Whittier, and did the cruise part. Important, if you are booking a cruise and you're trying to decide, if you're booking a cruise to Alaska, first of all, I'm a little biased, but I do like Princess. I did do Alaska on another cruise line, but I believe, in my personal opinion, that Princess Cruise Lines, as well as Holland American, offer better, they have better positioning in the space, the glacier space in Alaska. That's just what in my assessment of things, I would definitely recommend a Princess or Holland American cruise line. And a lot of them now are going. But if you can't get, if there's no room there, take one of the other lines. You want to do the inside passage. You don't want to just, go to Alaska and hit a couple of places. You want to hit as many places in Alaska as you possibly can. And by all means, do a balcony. If you can afford it, do a balcony, because the views are spectacular. And it's going to be worth it. Yes, you can see the same views if you come out of your cabin and you go up to one of the decks. Yes, but sometimes you just want to lounge around out on your cabin with your robe on and sipping some coffee, all day, any time of day, all night, any time of night. You can appreciate the scenery from the privacy of your own balcony. So which side of the ship is best if I am doing an Alaskan cruise and I'm ponying up the money for a balcony? Which side is the best for the views? If you're traveling southbound, which is what we did, we went from Anchorage down to Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan, and then over to Vancouver, which was a southbound cruise. It wasn't a round trip, it was just southbound. You want to be on that left side, because all the land portion, or the beautiful glaciers, is on the left side. That's the port side of the ship. If you're traveling the opposite, which is the north side, you're going to say you're flying into Vancouver and you're going up to Anchorage, you're going north, then you would want to book a room on the right side. Not that the opposite side does not offer spectacular views, but if what you want to see are the glaciers, then keep that in mind. The itinerary, amazing. We did something in every place that we went to, but we boarded the ship in Whittier. Did nothing in Whittier except jump on the ship. Did the Glacier Bay or the Hubbard Bay tour through the cruise line, where we jumped on a boat so that we could get better views of the glaciers. We did in Skagway, we did the dog sledding excursion. This was not with the cruise line. And then in Juneau, we did the tram up to Roberts Park, which was beautiful. And we also did whale watching. And then in Ketchikan, we just kind of fiddled around in Ketchikan. And then Vancouver was the last stop. If you're wondering what to wear, don't overthink it. It's Alaska. Even though it's summertime, we went in the summertime, it's still Alaska. Ladies, I know we love to be cute. So you wind up packing all these cute clothes and cute outfits. It's really not that kind of cruise, and it's casual. You're hiking and you're boating and you're dog sledding, you know, you're climbing and you got your tennis shoes on. So just pack plenty of casual wear. Definitely layers, as everybody says. You want to have layers because we experienced all 4 seasons in the 2 weeks that we were there. So you want to have your layers, but you don't need a whole lot of cutesy clothes. Maybe 1 or 2 outfits, and that's gonna do you just fine. Pack a poncho. I've said this before in some of my other videos, and you don't want to be worried with a umbrella. So have a poncho, pack a poncho or a rain jacket that has a hat, because it's Alaska, and especially Ketchikan, it's probably gonna rain on you. So be prepared. The embarkation process, I say Princess does it the best, always with ease. Make sure though, before if you're preparing to go on a Princess cruise, make sure you're green lane. Make sure you have all your documents uploaded and your app on your device, on your phone, and you want to be green lane. As long as you're green lane, it is really a smooth process. They do it better than anybody else. Don't worry if you don't have your medallion, that's okay. They will give it to you when you get to the port. The food, I have to say, now I just came off of a cruise. Prior to going on the Alaskan cruise, I was just on another cruise with a different cruise company in the Mediterranean, and I was not impressed with their food selection. And I've been on a couple of Princess cruises in the recent past that the food was like, but I have to say the food was really good. I was pleasantly impressed and surprised. The food was good in the dining rooms. I'm a dining room girl. I don't do the buffets unless I absolutely have to, because I like to be served. Okay, I'm on vacation, serve a sister. The buffet on the Sapphire Princess, for the time that I was there at least, they have definitely cut down on the options of food, the selection. So you know how on some lines, and I've been on some lines where you've got more food than you could even imagine up in the buffet, and you're going from one section to the next section to see that's not. They have one little area for the buffet, and which is fine to me because I don't really do buffet. But if that's what you really like, there were people complaining that there was not enough selection of foods and there weren't enough areas where food was being served. A lot of places to sit, but just not enough areas where the food was available. So just be aware of that. I even found the food in the buffet tasted better than some of the other cruises that I've done in the past, whether with Princess or other cruise lines. So good on you for that, Entertainment. So several cruise lines are cutting back on entertainment. So you feel it. You feel it when you're cruising that there's not as much entertainment as it used to be, and that the quality is not as good as it used to be. I will say that the Princess's production shows were good. Bravo, I just love Bravo. I've seen it, on all the ships, but I love it. So all of the ones that all the Princess production shows to me are really good. But the other shows that they put on in the theater, they're just they had comedian, magician, the things that they usually do, but I just thought it was okay. The Explorer's Lounge, I always look for the Explorer's Lounge when I jump on a Princess cruise or the Princess Live, because that's where all the craziness takes place with the passengers on the ship, the games, the fun games in the evening. So find your Explorer's Lounge and make sure you check out all the games and activities. Even if you don't take part, go in there and just sit in on some of those games, and and just find yourself a little area, sit down, and have a good time laughing at the folks in all the games on the ship. It's really quite entertaining. So just so you know, most of all the Princess cruise ships that I've been on, they offer some type of cooking. They have some type of cooking demonstration towards the end of the cruise. But what they don't tell you is after the cooking shows, many times they offer these tours through the galley. So many people are like, I'm not getting up to go to a cooking show. It's because it's usually on the sea day, and it's the last sea day before disembarkation, and you're trying to get yourself prepared for having to get off the ship, or pack or whatever, or sleeping in. So you may or may not go. But if you want that tour through the galley, then you might want to just go ahead and hit the cooking demonstration. So we did that this time, or I did that because I knew that they would probably have a walkthrough. This time it was more of a walkthrough of the galley and less of a tour. On one of the other ships I was on earlier this year, we actually got more of a tour of the kitchen, but this time they said, look, you just put your mask on, we want to say hi, have a few people greeting you, you walk in one door and out the other, see ya. But just to kind of give you an idea of what the kitchen setup looks like, if that's something that you are interested in. So Skagway, what I need to mention to you, if you are going into Skagway, we had to tender into Skagway. Take one of those little boats from our ship to get into Skagway. So if you are taking this itinerary, check to see whether or not this ship has to be anchored and you have to tender. For food, I did not mention the Dine My Way. If there's one thing that I can say Princess needs to improve on, it is the Dine My Way. I feel like they've gotten worse instead of better where that's concerned. Normally on the Princess cruises, I've just been able to make reservations while I'm on my way walking down to the dining room, or just show up at the dining room and not have a problem being seated. But it seems like that was not the case this time. So just so that you are aware, if you have a group, I usually don't have those problems because I'm usually traveling solo. But if you have a group and you want your group sitting together, you want to make sure that you're making reservations. You have to make those reservations early. And if you have a problem, then you want to see if there's a particular restaurant that you want to be seated every day, certain time of day with a certain group of people. You want to talk to the maitre d' of that restaurant so that you won't have to deal with the whole Dine My Way and going through your app and them not having reservations, because that's another thing. You want to in person just go and get that taken care of. Let's see. Anyway, I think that's probably about all that I have to say about this particular trip. I would highly recommend it. This is a great time to go. We're still in June. You still got a good couple of months to enjoy the beautiful weather in Alaska. and take those great photos. And I think that is going to do it for me. I feel like that was a really short review, but that's all I've got to say. I don't know what else to say, except have a magnificent day and happy cruising. Toodles.